My name is Alan McGuinn. I'm an architect in Asheville with the Asheville Chapter of the American Institute of Architects. And we're here today to talk with Mayor Terry Bellamy, the mayor of Asheville, about the I-26 Connector project. Good afternoon, Mayor Bellamy.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm going to start with a question I know we've talked about before, but could you explain your view of the I-26 Connector project and how you see it affects Asheville?
Okay, I'm happy to. First, let me say that I'm really proud of the work that the Asheville Design Center has created for our community. When I think about the I-26 Connector and its impact on our city, Asheville is the hub of Western North Carolina. We're the largest city in the area, and people come to Asheville to do business. People come to visit. We have tourists who come from all over the world to come to Asheville. As a matter of fact, tourism is business for our community. And I think the impact of I-26 is it provides our opportunity for our community to have better connectivity. It provides an opportunity for people visiting the area to either go through the area or actually go downtown and see Asheville's Western Gateway and see it in all its glory. And I think it's an opportunity for just a multimodal system. And so what the Asheville Design Center has put together by the AIA group, I think it's important and very significant for our community.
How does good design affect the community?
People don't come to Asheville to see bumper-to-bumper cars. People don't come to Asheville to speed through. I think that a lot of the people who come to Asheville want to make sure they see a green space. They want to see the mountains. They want to see the vistas. They come to enjoy the good quality of life that Asheville has to offer. And I think design is important. We boast that we have the most number of Art Deco buildings outside of Miami. That's pretty big for our community. And so when they come to Asheville, they want to see something special. They want to see something that's uniquely Asheville. It's a destination. It's not a drive-through.
Mayor Bellamy, what are the goals you see for the I-26 project as far as the goals for the city?
I think when the City of Asheville looked at this issue last October, we looked at it with the eye to a couple of things, three things specifically. We want to make sure that it has a small footprint and that it fit into the context of our downtown and our West Asheville community and how it bridges those areas. We looked at it for making sure it's a sustainable practice, making sure that what's developed in our community, it will have a positive, lasting impact on the future. If you think about bridges and highways, they last in communities for at least 50 years. And so we want to make sure that the footprint was significant and that it made sure that it blended in with our community. And last, we wanted to see an opportunity to separate the local traffic from the traffic that just wants to drive through our community or who are just visiting through a day or two and want to make sure they can get back on and off the 26 connector pretty easily. So I think we look at those three things. One, that it was a small footprint. Two, that it was sustainable, that it was a sustainable project. And three, that we look at the part of making sure that it separates local traffic from the regular highway traffic.
I agree with you. The Patton Boulevard is key to the project in terms of connecting Asheville to West Asheville and Emma and really giving us pedestrian linkage, mass transit linkage, all of those things that make a city.
I think if we listen to Secretary Conte and the direction that the department or highway system is going towards, it's a multimodal system. And it's not just focused on the automobile, it's looking at how do we make sure that mass transit is utilized, how do we make sure that people can use their bikes, how do we make sure that when the bus system is implemented into a highway project that it's easy for people to get off. I think that's important. I think what the Asheville Design Center has developed through the work of the architects, we've created an environment of taking a look at the entire transportation offerings, the foot, the bike, the bus, the car. And I think that's important to take in consideration.
I agree. What would you say are the contributions that AIA architects have made to this project?
I would say AIA's contribution has been something that is a model for the rest of the state as well as the country. First of all, one of the things that I want to highlight is the fact that our council, the supermajority, supported this initiative. And it's because we were informed at the front end of the process as opposed to the back end. AIA made sure that council was aware of what was moving forward, what was coming down the pipeline. And I think that's important, to make sure that policymakers are engaged and informed. And it gives an opportunity for individuals who are not as aware of what's going on. It gives them an opportunity to be brought up to speed. And I think our local architects did a good job of informing each member of the city council about what was coming along. Even if they didn't agree, at least they were informed. And some who may have been on the line teetering of whether to support it or not, it gave them an opportunity to be informed. And I think it brought some people along who may not have been in that corner at the beginning. And so I think, first of all, that informational process. Secondly, I think the community involvement. We had architects who were involved in this project from different spectrums. Republicans, Democrats, liberals, people from north side of town, south side of town, all across the community. And I think that's what's the beauty of this initiative. It wasn't just looking at it from a point of, you think the same way I think, so let's collaborate on this initiative. It was an opportunity, an engaging opportunity for the architects to look beyond the normal lines or stratas that we put ourselves in. It was an opportunity to say, how can we make a project that will have a positive and lasting impact on our community and have a small footprint that really addresses the needs of our community, not just today, but for the future. I think the third thing that it brings to the table to have architects is, architects have a lens that sometimes others don't have. They can see the beauty of a building, but they can also see, how can we put in landscaping, how can we put in the opportunities there, how can we make sure this is a good quality of place, a good sense of place. How do we recognize that this is Asheville? This isn't another city in America. This is unique to this place. And I think it helps create a sense of place. And I'm happy that the architects recognize, we need something different in Asheville. We're in the mountains of western North Carolina. How do we capture that and hold on to it and foster it?
What would you tell architects about becoming more involved in their community?
I'll ask architects from across the country to see their cities as a landscape or a canvas. That if you have a slate and you already have some things, how do you bring it all together? How do you create a beautiful portrait? And I think architects can see something in their head and they put it on paper. And sometimes that's what mayors have across the city and across the nation. They have visions for what they want to see their city, how they want it to become. And I see that it's an opportunity for those visions to merge. And I think you don't involve elected officials at the back end. You don't, this is what not to do, first of all. What not to do is to create something and then have 100 people send emails saying why the mayor or the council should support it. Most of the time, the mayor and the council, had they known before, they probably would have helped champion it. So it's about letting the elected officials know in advance of your project, coming to the community, coming out to say, this is where we're going and what we want to accomplish. And I think the more we collaborate between elected officials and architects, the beautiful landscape and the tapestry that we create, or the portraits that we create, will have a sustainable impact on our communities. The more we come together and see that basically we want a beautiful community and we can do it together, the better the outcomes will be. Is it always easy? No. And I want to acknowledge, even with the I-26 connector, can I say wholeheartedly that every member of my community supports it? No, that's not true. But we have to understand, sometimes something good that's happening and people make it great, that great usually is a bully pulpit, or it's a launching pad for a best practice, or it's a launching pad for something else to happen. And sometimes it has to take some hits in order for people to see that even if you hit it, it's still good, it's still great. And I think that's important.
You made a comment that mayors, like architects, have visions for their cities. What would your vision be for the future of Asheville?
You know, Asheville's in the mountains of western North Carolina. My vision is that when people come experience the mountains, they'll see growth and development, but it's done in a way that respects our environment. Asheville is a place that I believe can be a mecca for best practices, a wellness center, a place for the young and the old to grow and be rejuvenated. I think Asheville is a place where not only do dreams come true, that people come to Asheville and live in Asheville and see a transit system that meets their needs, that people who work in Asheville can actually live in the city limits and not have to worry about living in the suburbs because it's too expensive to live there. My vision for Asheville is to be recognized by the state of North Carolina that we exist and that we have needs and that they should help us address those needs. I think that Asheville in the future will be a place where wellness comes forward, where people can come and be rejuvenated but learn about how to be a healthy person, how to take care of themselves. Some best practices we already have in place is the Asheville Project, and it really focuses on disease management and having people to come to Asheville to learn about that. I think Asheville is a place where our architects will be more in tune and a part of the tapestry and to help redesign and reinvigorate some of the neighborhoods that needs a little attention. And so my vision is Asheville's a place that is already good but become great.
Well, Mayor Bellamy, thank you for talking with us today, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future.
All right, thank you.